Welcome to This Generation. I'm Bethany Stanley. Today we travel to the Aleutian Islands to the community of Sand Point, where you will meet the people of this fishing community and learn how life is quickly changing for the people of Popoff Island. It's a great show. Let's travel to Sand Point, Alaska for a look at This Generation.
It's a remote island in the middle of nowhere, actually, probably about 600 miles away from the biggest city, but it's actually a pretty amusing place. It's actually peaceful, you know, we don't get drive-by shootings, we don't have bank robberies, there's no murders running around, you know, it's peaceful.
There's also lots of eagles on the island, and there's wild buffalo that are on the other side of the mountain, and every once a year, residents of Sand Point will buy a ticket and they'll go out and shoot a buffalo.
It is located in the Aleutian Islands on Popoff Island. Surrounded by Humboldt Harbor, Sand Point is home to the largest fishing fleet in the Aleutian Islands. Aleuts from surrounding villages and Scandinavian fishermen were the first residents of the community. Today, however, you will find a variety of nationalities, with approximately 44.2% of the population being Alaska Native or part Native. They are a people who are self-sufficient, living a life of hard work and prosperity. It's a way of life that takes commitment and dedication. A way of life that is quickly becoming endangered.
I'm a fisherman. I've been a fisherman all my life. I've been fishing since I was 8 years old. Now 42. It looks like my fishing career is about to be ended. The prices are dropping so drastically. And we got 47 cents a pound for reds this year, which is really poor. Can't even make a living off that. All we're doing is paying expenses right now. But like me and my dad, we depended on this all our life. Now there's no more. Really don't know what's going to happen in the communities that way, because they really rely on fish tax. That's what runs the city.
For Leonard Holmberg Sr. and Leonard Jr., fishing has always been a large part of their lives.
Pretty much my whole life. I've both since before I can walk, and I'm 19 now. For fun for me is working and rallying a bike until I hurt myself.
They're a tough community facing tough times, and with 116 residents holding commercial fishing permits, the times may get even tougher. It's a situation that is on the minds of people of Sand Point, Alaska, especially the youth.
So where'd you get the chew?
The guy up at the corner store sold it to me. I'll let you try some, but just don't tell Mom.
Maybe just once.
What would life look like if you could fast forward a few years?
Here, try this. Back then, I didn't know better, but somebody should have.
1 out of 2 kids who smoke or chew before they turn 18 will die or suffer from a tobacco-related illness. Do the kids in your life a favor. Don't sell, buy, or give them tobacco.
Hey, You told me to call? So can I stay for another hour or so? 11. Okay, Mom.
Let your kids be who they are, but know what they're doing.
I wasn't going to school because I was making money stealing cars. Well, I was 10 when I first got involved with drugs. I skipped school because, nobody cared.
When I first got pregnant, school was not important to me, so I dropped out.
Well, if I don't finish school, then I can't go to college. That's the whole point of what I want to do with my life.
I still need to go to school to make it for myself.
I think I'm happier now. I know I'm happier now.
Why is this happening? Me? What do they want from me? It's not fair. I need answers. Now I got a place to go. TeamCentral.net. When I feel trapped, I'm angry. I don't know the way out.
Depressed. And I don't get why. Things are so messed up.
TeamCentral.net helps.
I can feel better.
It's a website.
It's a website
created by teens. For teens like me.
TeamCentral.net.
With stories like mine.
TeamCentral.net.
Log on, work it out.
Welcome back to This Generation. Commercial fishing in Alaska has taken some hard hits over the years. But what about the communities that have thrived off this industry for decades? Sandpoint is a great example of a community adapting to the changes of time, with help from a nationwide program. For the youth of Sandpoint and young adults alike, it's business as usual.
I cleaned out the sock where most of the fish come in. Get a lot of fish stuck in there. You have to clean it out so it doesn't get rotten. And cleaned out the fish hole, that's where all the fish go once we bring them on board the ship or the boat. And they have to stay down there at 34 degrees until we bring them in and pump them out with the vac.
We got the net running through the power block. It makes it a lot easier. Then we don't have to pull the net in by hand using power block. That's the way they used to have to do it, to pull this whole net in by hand back in the day.
It's a business that many of the youth around Sandpoint have made a career out of. Unfortunately, it's also a business that is quickly disappearing.
Fishing isn't really much of an industry anymore. It used to be, what, $2.40 a pound, and now it's hanging around there 40.
And on a sliding pay scale that revolves around a percentage of the catch, sometimes hard work can equal debt.
What's left over when we're done, the boat takes 50%. My Uncle Art's, this is his net, so he takes a small percentage of it. Whatever is left with the money, I get 9% of that money. If we don't do so good, I go backwards. I end up owing the boat money.
It's a no-win situation in today's market that is forcing many people to look elsewhere for a livelihood.
Box number 2, it gives you a list on page 7, gives you numbers from 1 through 8 of what kind of job you would like to get into.
In an effort to assure a future for the youth across our country and the youth of Alaska, the U.S. Department of Labor has granted funding for communities across the nation that have a low employment rate and high poverty levels. These monies are being used to help prepare the youth of many rural Alaskan communities for the future by providing the skills needed to enter the competitive workforce of the 21st century. It's called the Youth Opportunity Grant. Not only will the youth be trained and prepared for the challenges that lie ahead, but through the program they also are provided a place to do it, the Youth Opportunity Center. It's a source of information ranging from different types of careers to a variety of schools and learning centers, to educational materials. Whatever the youth of today need to be ready for tomorrow, the Youth Opportunity provides it. But it isn't a program that just happens overnight. It takes a great deal of preparation and dedication of several people to make it happen. First and foremost, the Youth Development Specialist, Karen Kalmakoff.
I get youths enrolled in the program. I do a ISS, which is a individual service strategy plan. And we have goals set with the plans, long goals and short goals. And I get jobs set up for the youths in the community. I've noticed a big increase of the youths enrolling in the program, and I see more of the youths interested in learning how to write resumes and learning about job interviews, and youths wanting to work more in the work field because the fishing industry is going downhill, and the youths are realizing that they can't make a living off of fishing, and that a lot of them are realizing that they need to finish high school, get their high school diploma, and then going for a bigger education, going to college and getting a degree or a certificate in different fields.
How do you see yourself? So for box 3 to 9, you're going to choose 1 being the high level of interest, 2 average level of interest, and number 3 low level of interest. I did a job readiness workshop where I covered job O, where it's a career interest assessment. This determines where the youth's career interests may be in.
I want to go to business and office technology, and I want to become a secretary or office assistant or receptionist.
I want to finish high school, and I don't know what I'm going to do from there. Go to college.
I plan to go to school next year, next fall. After my job that I have right now ends, I'm going to go for either accounting or architecture.
Go to Job Corps and become either an electrician, cook, or a heavy equipment operator.
Well, I'm going to attend Eastern Washington University, but I'm going to stay enrolled in the youth program. And I don't know, I plan to major in business.
I've enrolled in a trade school over in Seattle, and I'll start there next fall, and it'll be diesel mechanics, and as I go through the course, I'll be certified in every area on diesel mechanics. Hope to open up my own shop, run my own place, work on semis and boats and anything that runs off diesel.
I'm gonna go to college for 4 or 5 years, get a bachelor's degree in communications, or whatever it takes to be a newscaster, like a cameraman, or be on TV, I've always wanted to be famous, living in Sandpoint in the middle of nowhere. We're not on any kind of maps half the time, so I just want to be known.
With the drive and ambition that this young man has, there's no doubt that we'll be seeing Johnny Curtis on television again someday. Visiting from Anchorage were Donna Malchoff and Sarah Catalone of Cook Inlet Tribal Council. Sarah is the support systems coordinator for the program in this region, and Donna is the youth services coordinator.
We came out here to do a job readiness training, a job skills workshop. I came out here to help Karen set up her youth council, make sure that was up and running, so that the youth council can be more involved and get other activities going for the program. Invited the kids in for a get-together, included a pizza party as an incentive to kind of bring them in. Food and fun is always good to bring them in. Under the program, we're required to set up a youth council, and that's what we did. We put together their youth council.
All of the youth will have a chance to serve on the youth council in a leadership position, learning about the decision-making process and teamwork. But perhaps the biggest incentive for many of these youth is the chance to hold down a steady job. Through the Youth Opportunity Program, these kids are getting hands-on experience in a field of their choosing, and they're getting paid through funding provided by the program. Alice Jackson works at one of the grocery stores in Sandpoint as a clerk. Alice was elected president of the Youth Council, and now the wheels are turning.
Bake sales, cake walks, carnivals, I'm gonna raise money, see if we can buy something we really want or go somewhere we want to go as a group, or send some kids to training somewhere maybe.
I went up to the office and talked to Karen. There's jobs posted on the wall. I went over, I just looked around, I picked one. I filled out a resume, and I had an interview with the person from the API, and I started the next day.
Brandon Gunderson is enrolled in the program and is receiving work experience at the Harbor Cafe, working 6 days a week, 6 hours a day.
Bus tables, clean when it's closed, and do dishes. I close it right after I'm done cleaning at night. When it closes, then I take and lock up.
It's taken a lot of the stress off of me and the girls. And this year I haven't been able to afford to hire anyone because of the way our fishing industry is. And so with Brandon coming in here and working, it's taken a lot of stress off of Casey, and he learns to interact with other people. He's very responsible. And he's so responsible that he has a key to this place. So I put a lot of faith in him. Nice. You know, he locks up at night, and I don't worry because I know he's doing a good job.
Down at the bed and breakfast, I'm going to help him paint, weed whack, and clean up and polish everything up. He's just finishing up remodeling his kitchen, and it's a pretty cool job, actually.
It was a lot easier to find a job this year. Usually it takes me 2 or 3 weeks to get a good job when I come back from school, but this year, after a week of being here, I enrolled in the youth program and I had a job. So it was a lot easier for me. Since about mid-May, when I came back from school, I started out working with Culture Camp, went and signed up. It's where we learn about Aleut traditions, Aleut culture, learn how to make regalia, the masks and the dancing, learn some of the language, and learn how to sing some songs. I help cook, I run errands whatever needs to be done, help clean up, I help kids sew on their regalia and get them caught up. Basically, whatever needs to be done that somebody else can't do, I do it.
The Youth Opportunity Program has really decreased the workload and the stress load, certainly for our culture camp this year. We've had more time to do hands-on with the kids, with the extra help. And having them in here working is a good role model for our younger youth, and hopefully they'll have the incentive to also join the Youth Opportunity Program.
Not only are these youth focusing on their futures, but they are also keeping in touch with their past, practicing the arts of yesteryear in a culture that still lives strong today.
This is not complete yet. There'll be beads like this that come across here, and this will be done. And then in the back turn. In the back, you'll have this is just the start, but this will get filled up. And usually, since this one is mine, I didn't put a leather strip in here. There's a leather strip that I put through here so that the beads can come through it. And when you dance, this won't get all thrown in your face. You know, it'll hold the beads still.
Don't go anywhere, this generation. We'll be right back.
Hey, what's up? Not here right now. After the beep, you know what to do. Or if you're desperate, call me on my cell.
Kidding, right?
Sorry.
Your friends are out there, together having fun. And you are here, grounded, because you smoked weed and your parents found out. Lose your parents' trust, and you can kiss your social life goodbye.
Autopsy report, case number 00.
The body is said to be well developed,
well-nourished adult Caucasian female. The body is opened in the usual manner with a Y-shaped incision. The lungs are 910 grams together. The brain is 1,460 grams. The pericardial surfaces of the 280-gram heart are smooth, glistening, and unremarkable. It is my opinion that the death of Daniel C. Hurd is due to acute drug intoxication. The only drug present in her system was ecstasy.
So, whose influence are you under?
See you later, Ma.
Jason,
Yeah.
who else is going with you?
Anna and Kyle.
And you left the phone number?
Yes.
Be back before 11.
Let your kids be who they are, but know what they're doing.
It's heartbeat, Alaska. It's heartbeat, Alaska. You can hear it from Sitka to Barrow. Gather around for Jeannie's show. It's the Aleut, the Indian, and the Eskimo.
Every week, right here on ARCS.
Welcome back. Let's go back to Sandpoint to see how else the Youth Opportunity Program and the dedicated individuals of Sandpoint are paving the road to success.
Okay, now, when you're working with data, you may have a set of numbers. Okay, and what you do is to find the mean, you take all of the numbers, you add them all together.
It's just like average.
Right, the mean is the average, yeah. And you add them all together, and then you count your numbers. Right, and then you divide it by how many of your numbers you have, and that will be your mean.
For the youth of Sandpoint, it's full speed ahead into the future. For Carmen Holmberg and her daughter Lindsay Ray, it's one goal at a time as Carmen studies hard to take her GED.
The math is hard because the people lost my GED test. So I have to retake it all.
As for now, Carmen works side by side with Karen as the Youth Development Assistant.
I'm working with youths that are drop out of high school. They're working towards their GED, and we have I have 3 youths now that been working on their GED, and I have one that's working for the program. She's our assistant, and she's working towards her GED too right now.
Have you had any experience in management?
I do job interviews. I interviewed a youth today, and she's going to be working for the tribe, office work. She's a office assistant worker, and she'll be learning to file, answer her phone, use the fax, make copies, and interacting with the QTT director.
We're looking for an employee that really has a strong interest in seeking a job and being on time and dependable and willing to learn new skills. Well, we hired Courtney Kuchnoff, and she's going to be starting work tomorrow, part-time 1 to 5, through the end of August. And we're really excited and happy to have her here. I got some work for her.
You know what? I really enjoyed working with the youth, doing these workshops, where I never thought I would be training youth, but I actually enjoyed it, you know, because I can see that they have a determination to do better with their lives, and I find that satisfying.
I think we as adults underestimate the power and the leadership of the youth that we do have around. So give them the opportunity to blossom on their own and give them that room. When you give them the tools to do things on their own and make decisions on their own, it helps them feel good about themselves. It makes them feel like they're in control of what they're doing, and it gives them a vested interest in what they want to do.
Helps a lot of people figure out what they want to do with their lives and where they're going, how they want to get there, how they do everything.
I think it's a great program, and it gives our kids, gives them an insight of what a real job is.
This program is starting to have a real positive impact on the community and the youths. They're realizing more that they can't depend on fishing. When I do assessments with them, they say, well, I'd like to finish high school and then go to college and then from there move away and get a better paying job. And so I'm working with the youths and, encouraging them that being here on Sandpoint, there's better things out there for them, and their education is number one, because that's really important to make it in this world.
Thank you for joining us, and thank you to the community of Sandpoint. It's been a pleasure having you with us. Be sure to join us next week for another exciting look at this generation. Until then, goodbye.